Mm, mm. All right, guys, how are you doing? How una day? How are you doing? So, I'm here to talk about anyhowness. Nigerian anyhowness. Let me see if John is around. Because John wanted to talk about this. Of bro. John, we are ready.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. John actually wanted us to talk about this, but we had that whole Bible session on. Make I even send Oshime message. I spoke to him today, babe. Benna. I spoke to Victor today. I haven't spoken to him in a long time. Said it today was his first match.
Today was his first
Yes.
match on what?
You know he had an injury from the Nigerian game. Congrats on your goal.
I don't understand. Is he playing football?
Victor Osimhen.
Oh, Victor. Vic. I thought it was Vic our
Simply Vic, no.
Today was his match. You spoke to him. How is he doing?
Very well.
Oh, that's so good. I'm happy to hear that. But how is his injury? Has he healed?
This is his first game. Let me, I know they follow football, so I don't even know.
He had injury.
Now in they tell me, say, yeah, he had an injury.
I was not happy at all. I was happy it's okay.
Omo. So let me see if John is here. We're talking about Nigerian anyhowness. This is John as a member of Pengassan. Let us hear what he has to say. That lady that lost her life in Abuja. Very sad.
Okay.
John,
Are you freeze over?
say you know vex with me the other time, eh? Na grace of God.
Go vex.
3 hours of Bible debate. Let me shout out to that guy. What's his name? Holyfield. Holyfield. I enjoyed that conversation, even though at the end of the day, you know that we won hands down. But I enjoyed the fact that, Baba, it's not easy to stand up to also. So you even if you stand up, you understand. Say you even if you stand up, they drag. You understand? I was impressed. I was impressed. So, how are you doing, John?
Good.
What is going on with this Pengassan strike that is supposed to start tonight? And from the look of things, Nigerian Labour Congress also looks like they are going to join in the strike.
So, the truth is that Nigerians need to understand and know the truth. I've been seeing some mixed feelings online from people who have no idea what Pengassan is and what Pengassan should, and the powers Pengassan have. Unfortunately,
Hi guys,
by
I'm Daddy
tomorrow,
Freeze, Convino. Yeah.
by
Go
tomorrow,
ahead.
the country will be losing about close to 180 something million dollars per day. And Pengassan is going to be non-apologetic about it. Over time, companies in Nigeria have operated like as if they are demigods, and that's why the gap between the rich and the poor in Nigeria keeps getting wider. People declare what they should pay their employees as profit, as salaries, and benefits as profits. For example, Dangote Dangote had the audacity to ask who is Pengassan in public. He thinks he operates as Dangote alone. He's not Dangote. Dangote Group is everybody who works for Dangote. And he had the audacity to ask who is Pengassan in public. And sometimes I look at the federal, and I blame the federal government for not being able to enforce certain laws that are incorporated in the Nigerian Labour Act. That Dangote will wake up and fire 800 Nigerians and bring experts to replace them immediately. Just because the 800 Nigerians indicated interest to join a labor union. He has no rights to do that. He's Dangote, he's a private entity. We know that he owns it. But provided he operates within the entity called the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he's bound by Nigerian laws. And the Nigerian Labour Act states that you cannot fire a union member under a collective bargaining agreement. You have to consult the union before you fire anybody. If it wasn't because of unions that it frees, Nigerians would have been treated like animals. Nigerians would have been treated like animals in their own country. For example, in the oil and gas industry, before the dollar was floated, let's say a company uses $100,000 to pay salaries.
I'm listening.
When the dollar was floated, automatically the salary is using like $40-something thousand to pay salaries. Because of the increase in the exchange rate. You understand? So if it wasn't for Pengassan that weighed in and told every company has to double the salaries of their employees. Every company has to increase the salaries of their employees by at least 60 to 70% to match up with the standard of living. Companies would have maintained that salary and be declaring profit. And in the oil and gas industry, no company will tell me that they earn naira because they do 60% dollar, 40% naira. So you're paid in dollars. So these are the places where Pengassan has powers. That if I worked in Congo, I've seen people in Congo, before you lay off someone in the oil and gas industry, you pay him 2 years salary first. You give him 2 years salary up front. These are all under a collective bargain agreement. The Labour Act states that if you are working for any company in Nigeria, you are either have an individual contract between you and your employer, or you join a labor union and operate under a collective bargaining agreement. And for those that feel that labor unions kill an economy, are those that want to control and maintain a suppressed workforce. They want to suppress their workforce so that they will dictate to their workforce what they want. Let me ask you a question that you face. ExxonMobil has a labor union. Shell has a labor union.
Is ExxonMobil still in Nigeria?
They're now separate.
Okay.
But if it was not for Pengassan, every employee of ExxonMobil would have lost their job. But Pengassan weighed in and said, if you're moving from Exxon to Seplat, every employee will be moved. They told Seplat, they're taking over ExxonMobil and all its assets and liabilities, including employees. That was how they were able to save all those employees in ExxonMobil. And what did Pengassan did? You're going to take them and you're going to maintain their salary bracket. If not, the Nigerian company would have taking the employees of ExxonMobil and reduce their salary. So now what they are now doing is, rather, the old Seplat people, Seplat is trying to match up their salaries to ExxonMobil salary. These are all the benefits of a trade union. You can stop a trade union, but not by force. The only way you can stop a trade union is lure your employees yourself. Let's say union gives them, says that you should pay them 500 naira. Call your employees one by one and tell them, I'll give you 550 naira. Come out of the union. You have no powers to declare that no employee should be part of the union. Union is a fundamental human right. It's a right of association. Every human being has a right of association. If you infringe on that right, you're infringing on the fundamental human right of an employee. And Dangote cannot do that. If Nigeria doesn't take time, Pengassan will shut down the economy until Dangote comes to his knees. The federal government has the power to call Dangote and tell him, you're going to operate in Nigeria, you have to abide by the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Labour Act states that if you're firing someone, that if it's, if you're firing someone under a collective bargaining agreement, what the Labour Act states is that you have to invite, especially during redundancy, one, you have to apply first man in, last man out.
What is first man in, last man out?
As, for example, if I was employed this year and you were employed last year, you have to fire me first before you fire you.
Oh, wow.
You understand? Yes. You have to fire me first before you fire you. Then there must be a representative of the Ministry of Labour seated in that meeting to agree on the terminal benefits. Under and an employee and a member of your trade union seated there to agree on your terminal benefits. So in that case, you see that the employee will not be cheated.
Are you a member of Pengassan?
Yes, I'm a full-fledged member of Pengassan. I'm unapologetic about it.
Okay.
Daddy Freeze, these things are not difficult. You have people who work for you. Daddy Freeze, the oil and gas industry is one of the most deadliest environment to work in Nigeria.
Why?
Hazards. Daddy Freeze, just one wrong turn of a valve in that refinery will endanger 10% of the employees in that refinery at that point. Casualty will not be less than 10%. So you are talking about people who are dedicated to safety. People who go to work knowing that there's a possibility that they will not come back home. If you work in the industry, you leave your house every morning, kiss your children and tell them, and just say in your mind that you might not be able to come back home. Why? Because even the chopper that takes you to the rig could crash. You could have a blowout in the rig and that's all. And you are telling these people not to protect their future. Pengassan is the one who is going to negotiate. Okay, if this guy workmanship compensation acts, if anything happens to this guy and the act of service, this is what he gets. If not, you will have people who buy in the act of service and they'll treat them like Nigerian Army. They'll treat them like Nigerian Army. They'll treat them like the Nigerian Army. Maybe before you even get the benefits, they go begin to try press the wife. So for me, Pengassan is to Nigerian employees. In fact, every employee in Nigeria, even hotels, should operate under a trade union. Because what Pengassan looks at is, for example, if a company wants to lay off employees, let's say a company feels that they're not doing too well and they want to lay off employees. They call Pengassan, if they are under a CBA, collective bargaining agreement, Pengassan comes in. What Pengassan wants to see is their 2 years financial reports. Pengassan will want to see that you're running a consistent loss for the past 2 years before you start laying off. If not, companies will just wake up today and because they ran at a loss last month, they start laying off people. No, that's not how to work. All the while you'll be making profits, use it to augment and pay employees until you pick up. But if you've been running at a loss for the past 2 years consistently, then fine, we'll allow you fire, but under certain conditions. Employees have to be, the rights of employees have to be protected, whether you like it or not. The right of employees must be protected. And Dangote, you're lucky someone like me is not Pengassan president. Because all this one you're seeing is nonsense. I will make sure I will not just shut the crude supply to your refinery. I will make sure that refinery is picketed in full. Picketing is a legal right of every Nigerian employee under the Nigerian law.
Now, I have Bongoli in the comment in my DM. He wants to come and say something, but I don't know what you and I'm get. Is it possible that I bring you down for 5 minutes and allow Bongoli to talk, then I bring you right back?
It's your silly organized labor cannot fight for the rights of factory workers.
Don't say anything. Let him talk. Let him talk. Then you come and respond. Let him talk. Let him.
Factory workers are not Pengassan. Pengassan is petroleum Senior Staff Association of Oil and Gas Industries. That's Pengassan. Factory workers are not under Pengassan. Pengassan is for senior workers. Nipeng is for junior workers. So factory workers, I don't care what factory workers are. Go and meet labor or trade union congress to talk about factory workers. But Pengassan, I have benefited so much from Pengassan. If I have a child who will work in the oil industry, before he takes any appointment, he must be a member of Pengassan.
Somebody say Bongoli, they fear John.
No, you cannot fear me. Am I God? No.
Okay. So let me bring Bongoli. Then Bongoli is going to table his argument, and then you would respond.
Problem.
All right. So let's, John, I know this is your show. This is your show.
Is only interested in their pockets. Now, when Pengassan go shut down Nigerian economy, die Nigerian economy, and you guys will not do anything because we are the ones on those valves and those flow stations.
Okay.
If you don't like them, make your papa go mount those flow stations. Why would they read book? Your papa, they drink kai. They tell me, say, we should not.
Oh, yeah. John, I know this is your show because you particularly requested for this conversation. But Bongoli will not talk when you are there. I don't know waiting when I gather. So let me allow Bongoli to come and talk, and then you are going.
Bongoli will always want to come and defend the federal government.
Oh, yeah, let's hear him.
The federal government is Dangote.
Let's hear him. Oh, yeah, Bongoli.
In bed.
Oh, yeah, Bongoli. Also for the balance of the conversation. Then after that, I'll bring John back. Then I'll bring many people back. Anybody that wants to put mouth in this particular conversation. We're having an intelligent conversation today. No be every day be who knock, who give who belle, who give who carry who wife. All right? So, John, after you go, no, it's just for Bongoli to assert his points and he can come. And I told Bongoli, I said, Bongoli, now because say this particular conversation, I know much about them. I wish you could have come on, but at the end of the day, he goes here, he goes there, no problem. Next time, I wish people can be man enough and grown enough to be able to face each other. I like it when somebody said, I hope you've checked on Ella today. Ella is fine.
Someone is saying that how will you shut down Nigerian economy because of a reason?
You will come back and say it. Just hold on, because the matter no go end. Make Bongoli come talking on. Make Bongoli come talking on.
No wala.
So John has left temporarily. Bongoli is joining us temporarily. So let's hear Bongoli. All right. Anybody else that wants to join and add to this conversation, please. Official DJ Bongoli. O'Shea, brother. Oh yeah,
Good
go
evening.
ahead.
And thank you all very much for having me on your program. And I like this question that somebody asked. Has Bongoli ever worked in the oil and gas sector? How do I answer this question, Daddy Freeze? I would just say that I've been a professional engineer here in America for about 2 decades. And I actually work in, I don't want to say too much, but I'll just say that. I'll just say that. And I'm a process safety expert. So that is doing process hazard analysis, leading environmental impact assessments and all of that. But I just want you guys to see me as the Bongoli that comes on Daddy Freeze's life. So, Daddy Freeze, I'm going to speak from my economic ideology here. And in my economic ideology, I'm a capital social democrat with a strong focus in developmental economics, thereby building strong and stable institutions using the Pareto principle, which means that 80% of outcomes are from 20% causes. Now, why do I say all of this? I say all of this because for Nigeria to get to where it's supposed to be today, get to where it needs to be today, we need a free market economy.
Okay.
Enough is enough with the labor unions, that is organized labor, associations and middlemen strangulating us in Nigeria. Enough is enough. Now, when we talk about a free market economy, we're talking about economic freedom, where people can buy, people can sell, people can produce, people can consume, people can sign contracts, people can own business and property rights. That is where we need to be going as Nigeria. That is where we need to be going. Now, we have the Dangote situation and all of that, and I'm just watching and looking at what is going on with the Dangote situation versus organized labor. I have issues with organized labor. If I had my way, I will give organized labor in Nigeria the treatment that Margaret Thatcher gave them in the UK in 1984. And for people that do not know that, go and research it. Go and research what Margaret Thatcher did to organized labor when every little thing is strike. Okay, Daddy Freeze. Do you know the reason why electricity has dropped today in Nigeria from about 4,600 megawatts to 3,200 megawatts? Because of the issue in Dangote, and they turned off the gas. The methane gas, because it is methane gas, because we use about 15%, is 15% what's it called, hydro, and about 85% gas. Methane gas used in powering our turbines, and you shut it down because of issues you have with a private entity. Are you kidding me? So, according to our Trade Union Act in Nigeria, there are 5 stages before you say you want to take industrial action. What is the first stage? The first stage is when an incident like that happens, you report to the Ministry of Labor.
Okay.
You have a conversation. If that doesn't work out, the Ministry of Labor will organize a mediator. If the mediation doesn't work out, then they will now organize an arbitration. If that doesn't work out, then you go to court. When you now go to court and there's an adjudication, meaning that
you want to take Nigeria to court and win.
No.
Bongoli, I don't understand the court part.
No, adjudication meaning you can win or lose. It depends. You can win or lose. It depends. Then
in Nigeria, you are going to lose most of the time.
No. ASU won the government during the IPPIS and UTA situation. For people that don't know, they was talking about their payment, their payment portal and all of those things. They defeated the government, the federal government. Now they won their case and they took them back to the UTAs. They didn't use IPPIS anymore. And then after that, you will now say, you now give your warning strike and say in 14 days or in 14 days time or in 7 days time, we are going to take industrial action. And if you see all those steps, they bypass it. That difference, do you know the rot going on in our oil and gas sector in Nigeria today? Do you know the people, do you know the principalities and powers that are fighting Dangote refinery today? Because this is about Dangote refinery. NUPENG, National Union of Petroleum and Gas. Pengassan, Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staffs Association of Nigeria. You have DAPMAN. Those ones are the depot owners. You have IPMAN, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. You have NATO, National Association of Road Transport Owners. That the first, I am calling all of these different principalities and powers. They are the reasons why our national refineries have never worked. They are the reason why Ajakuta Steel has never worked. They are the reason why NNPCL, for example, they wanted to do some kind of reorganization this year. Ojulari, do you know what they told Engineer Ojulari? They said, if you try it, we shut it down. We shut the country down. Daddy Freeze. These people, do you know that they collect about 50,000 a naira per liter on every tank truck that you load at the depot? Because I live in I'm from Amu Odofin, and we have tank farms. I was one of the people that led the fight against those tank farms, such that they now built a fire station in our area. And we are grateful to God that because of the Dangote refinery, I told them that they should not fight again. They should not worry. Once Dangote refinery comes on, but I told my community that those depots are going to die a natural death. Sorry for using that word. They are going to
By natural by. That is you are talking about the tank farms.
Yes. I told them, if you know the carnage,
Guys, stop sending me requests. Stop sending me requests if you are not ready to.
Yeah, man. Don't talk to me like that now. Stop sending me requests if you're not ready. You're not going to pay me, man. Respect me. I'm 65 years old. I'm not a kid, brother. You're not going to pay me. I don't have to be here. I'm only trying to help you with your show. But don't talk to me like that. Don't disrespect me.
Brother, I think you need to press X.
We probably...
No.
But I'm not a kid.
Brother. Yeah. Respectfully, please press X.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just help me press X.
Where is it?
It's up there, you see. Just help me press X.
Right here on top?
Yeah.
But that will take me out.
Exactly. Please. Respectfully.
It's okay. I'll stay. I'm not...
You can't come to my live, sir. And I'll say this very respectfully. Hold on. I am angry. You sent me a request. I brought you live. Brother, I'm going to take you off. But I want to be respectful. You came to my live. If you send somebody a request to come to their live, I shouldn't be the one looking for you. Who is that?
I don't know if you're going to approve it. I was laying down in the bedroom.
Okay. All right. No problem. I've approved it now. All right. What is it that you wanted to say, sir? Go ahead.
I don't know. I text you. I said, what is the topic?
Okay, sir.
So I was listening.
All right, sir. Okay. So do you want to say something, or do you want to come back when you understand what the topic is?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm going nowhere today. I'm retired. I don't work. So I'm retired. I don't work. So what is the topic?
Okay, sir. Let me bring you back so we can have that conversation later. Bongoli, please continue. It's an intellectual conversation. And
So
5 minutes from now, John, I'm going to bring John up. I
no
have to bring
problem.
him up.
I'm going to leave. I know. So, for example, it is we if we look at it from okay, I was talking about the 50,000 naira. So for every rail car and tank truck that loads at the tank farm, they receive that Nupeng, they receive about 50,000 naira on one alone. They will collect their dues. Pengassan also, when they calculated the amount in dues that they were supposed to collect from the Dangote refinery, like if you join Pengassan and all of that, it was to the tune of between 30 to 40 billion naira in a year. That was how much that. So it is about the money. It is not really about them fighting for the rights of the staffs. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that Pengassan haven't done anything for the Nigerian workers, but I see them as a stumbling block to the free market economy that Nigeria needs for its economy to transcend.
Okay.
They are the reasons why we keep on importing. They are the reasons why we keep importing what's it called, petroleum products into this country. Because they are laying in the same bed with these marketers. They are laying in the same bed with these importers. They ask Dangote, increase the price of your product, because when we want to ship it from your refinery and taking it to our depots and all of that stuff, they calculated it to 75 naira to a liter or something like that. They were requesting about 1.5 trillion naira. And who would they put that thing on? Isn't it the Nigerian people? Now, I want to say something, tell people this. Today, as I'm speaking today, a barrel of crude oil sells for $66. And then when you do the calculations and all of that, and you put refining cost, one barrel is 42 gallons, US gallons. 1 US gallon is 3.785 liters. And then when you put that through the refinery, because I've worked in a refinery before also, when you put that through a refinery and all of that, convert it to the Nigerian naira, you are going to be getting, and then you put all the Nigerian dues, NMDPRA dues and all of that stuff, you are looking at about 850, 860 naira. If these guys are coming on board, we are going to be buying that same product for about 950 to 1,000 naira per liter. That is freeze. This rot has been going on since the 70s, that it freeze. The 70s. And now, a lot of people will be saying that we don't have jobs in Nigeria. We need foreign direct investments. We need local direct investments. And you are seeing how Dangote is being treated. Would that make you come and invest? Those guys are, you see, and then NLC, because I have to go now because of the 5 minutes. Okay. NLC have not said they are going to join. These same people are the reason why many of our institutions are not strong and are not stable. They are just all about the money. They don't fight for the rights of the Nigerian worker. Like I said, there are a lot of factories, because I want to use the word factories. I don't want to use the word chemical plants. Factories in Nigeria today that their staffs that are part of their associations that are under organized labor, they don't fight for them. They have a lot of occupational and safety hazards going on over there. Occupational and health hazards over there. OSH hazards over there going on. People losing their limbs, their hands, people working in inhumane conditions. And they are not fighting for them. They are only fighting for their pocket and fighting for the importers of petroleum products. That is their grand plan, to ground the Dangote refinery. I try not to put it in, I try not to use so much technical words so that people can understand what you are saying. So I would yield the floor now. I don't know if you have any question you want to ask.
No, nothing. It's still developing, and some of us are not familiar with the oil and gas industry beyond a certain superficial realm. This is not Bible, and this is not aviation. But I understand where you're coming from, and John is going
Okay,
to
Daddy
join.
Freeze, I know you have to go. Daddy Freeze, I know you have to go. Look at liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied petroleum gas, for example. Dangote was going to sell it for 800. Those guys, they are saying they want to sell it for 1,000. Look at aviation, turbine kerosene, jet fuel. Same thing.
Bongoli.
Those guys are against free market economy.
Bongoli.
Daddy Freeze, bye.
All right.
Bongoli.
Bye.
Bongoli. You don't have to run. Bongoli, I put it to you that you are not an engineer. You have nothing to do about you don't know anything about engineering. First and foremost, Nupeng collects dues for every tanker that loads in every depot. What does the Nupeng do with the dues? It's part of insurance. That is why if your product is in a tanker, once you are given that Nupeng receipt at the depot and that tanker have an accident and the product spills, Nupeng, the owner of the truck, is not who is paying the peng. Is not who is paying the product owner. Nupeng pays the product owner. It's an insurance. It's an insurance. The person who pays for that Nupeng sticker is the truck owner, not the product owner. Is the truck owner, not the product owner. That money is like an insurance, a premium you pay on insurance. Goods in transit. That's what that sticker is for. And he also mentioned about Bongoli. Have you told the federal government to ban NURTW, National Union of Road Transport Workers? I mean, it's because you people are the ones that own it. Huh? You want the agros, the heavy cows, NURTW to maintain, but you want Pengassan to be banned.
Huh.
And Bongoli, I also heard you saying something about Pengassan will be collecting money from Dangote Refinery. Pengassan does not collect money from any employer of labor. The financial responsibility is on the staff. There is a Pengassan dues that will be deducted at source from your salary. If I'm as a member of Pengassan, at source, I have a Pengassan dues that is deducted from my salary that goes to Pengassan. It has no business with my employer. 1 naira my employer is not paying for me to be part of Pengassan. I am the one who chose to be part of Pengassan. I pay the dues. I'm the one who pays the dues. So, Bongoli, when you're coming on the fields you don't know anything about, please, shh, because you don't know. Because you don't know. So, Daddy Freeze, the Nigerian government can go ahead and this is not even about the Nigerian. This is not between Pengassan and the Nigerian government. This is between Pengassan and Dangote. Because the welfare of Nigerian workers have to be protected. He was saying that that Pengassan should go to court first. Which court? The moment you file that suit in court, the court will ask you to maintain status quo and delay that case for another 10 years. We know that. The court will tell you to maintain status quo. And once they tell you to maintain status quo, it has to be status quo. And delay that case for another 10 years. No. Pengassan does not need to go to court. The only people Pengassan is answerable to is the Nigerian Ministry of Labor. This was being reported to the Nigerian Ministry of Labor when the 800 staffs were sacked. And they sacked the 800 staffs and brought Indians to take their positions. Tell me, where is the local content quota? How did he manage the local content quota? A lot of things went wrong because there's a local content quota that states that not more than, I think, 3 or 5% of your employees, only 3 or 5% of your employees can be expats. And you sacked 800 and brought Indians to replace them. Your quota, how did you go about it, Mr. Dangote? How did you go about it? Daddy Freeze, in every sane country, even in America, Americans complain when other people come to take their jobs. Even in America, Americans complain when other people come to take their jobs. Even in the United Arab Emirates, there are jobs that are specifically reserved for locals. There are jobs that you need to take a look. Only if a local cannot do will you employ a foreigner. This is our country. It belongs to us. We should enjoy all the privileges of this country before any foreigner. And that is why people come and declare profits, large margins of profits. Nigeria is the only country where you come in and you're making companies are making 200% profit margin. In the US, if you make 30% profit margin, you've tried. That 200% profit margin you're seeing is benefits that should go to employees. That the phrase is Nupeng that will come and challenge ExxonMobil and tell ExxonMobil, why will you have a drilling engineer in Houston who is earning $7,000 and the same drilling engineer that does exactly the same thing in Nigeria is earning 3 million naira? Why are you paying this one $7,000 and paying this one $2,000? And some of them are talking with the argument that it's the standard of living. They'll say, then tell the guy in Houston to come and relocate to Nigeria if he wants a better standard of living. If he feels the standard of living in Nigeria is cheaper. It's Pengassan that will negotiate risk factors. You're working in Nigeria, they bring an expert and pay him risk hazard allowance. They'll ask you, what about the locals that work in Nigeria? Don't they face the same hazard as the experts? Why are you paying the expert hazard allowance and you pay the local hazard allowance? So people that dine with the government will want to buy trade unions. But trade unions are the only things that protect employees. In a third world country where you know that employees don't have a choice. In third world countries, you know that because there are no jobs, people want to keep the ones they have. In third world countries, you know that an employee might be trying to shut down a valve and mistakenly there's a leakage and he chops off his hand. The employer will fire him the next day. It's only a trade union that will weigh in and say, this man that lost his hand in the process of doing your job. Employee Compensation Act, which is under the Labor Act, states that you cannot fire him until his retirement age without one hand. This is all Pengassan. This is all trade unions. Anybody who doesn't want a trade union is someone who wants to control his employees so that he can subdue his employees.
Oh yeah, where is everybody that can ask questions? Now, Bongoli raised some points. He said, why have they not banned NURTW?
I mean, they asked him that question. Why have they not banned NURTW?
Sorry, Bongoli, so what's your response to that? I have Captain Mo here.
Because it's APC that owns it now. NURTW is APC. Is the militia is allegedly the militia arm of APC. The thing is, all we should be asking is, why don't we have trade unions in other sectors of the economy? Why don't you have trade unions in hotelings? If we had trade unions in hoteling, a hotel owner who declares profit of 500 million cannot be paying his employees 70,000. Cannot be paying his employees 70,000. I know oil and gas companies in Port Harcourt then that we are paying engineers 70,000, 100,000. But because at some point the employees were forced down to go to join Pengassan. Today they are happy. Today, as I speak to you, Daddy Freeze, indigenous oil servicing company pay better than multinationals because of Pengassan. Yes, indigenous oil servicing companies pay better than multinationals. Return of 70% better. Because everybody does not want Pengassan Wahala. That if they cannot pay if they're not making the money. They cannot pay if they're not making the money. Pengassan knows that they are making this money. Then let your employees benefit. You are not Dangote alone. Dangote refinery is not Dangote alone. Dangote refinery is Dangote and every, including the security man that works in Dangote refinery. Then if you know, in Durama, in Port Harcourt, former element petrochemicals. The minimum wage in Indorama is 500,000 naira. What that means is that the cleaner that cleans the toilet in Indorama earns 500,000 naira. Because of a trade union. The minimum wage in Indorama is 500,000 naira.
So I want to bring Mr. Okoje Cletus, the 65-year-old gentleman who came earlier on. So Mr. Cletus, are you ready to take part in the conversation now? Do you know what the conversation is about? Or what do I say? Somebody said we need proof.
Proof?
Of
if you need proof, good. If you need proof, go to Indorama now. It's not far now. I don't understand. What proof do you want me to give you? If you proof, go to Indorama and ask any staff in Indorama how much he earns. Now, if it's, let me even go further. You know what employers do these days is they use contract staffs to subdue positions that their employees should take. For example, the labor law states that if you employ someone for a task that will take more than 3 months, he must be your direct hire. He must be your direct hire. So what employers do is they bring in contract staffs, put the liability of those staffs under another local small company. So that even if they form a trade union under that small company, they'll be judging them based on the profit that small company is making.
That's why I have oil servicing companies.
What?
That's why you have oil servicing companies.
No. That's why you have labor contractors. For example, I can be a labor contractor of ExxonMobil now.
Yeah.
I can be a labor contractor of ExxonMobil, and I will supply ExxonMobil with certain category of staff. I will supply ExxonMobil with certain category of staff. Now, those staff will be, let's say those staff are supposed to be earning 5 million naira in ExxonMobil. I'll negotiate to pay them 3 million naira. Now, even if they join a trade union, my overhead is not as much as ExxonMobil's overhead. Pengassan cannot come and say I should pay them 5 million because they have looked at my books. Maybe I'm not making so much money. But under ExxonMobil, they will see the profit margin of ExxonMobil and tell them there's no way you should be paying these people less than this. Now, that thing is a criminal, is a crime in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because if the staff is going to do a task for more than 3 months, he must be your direct hire. That's what the labor law says. The people that come in and wait, see, the people that should be doing what the trade unions should be doing is the Ministry of Labor. But the Ministry of Labor is docile. So it is not the trade union that weigh in institutions like this. These people cannot be contract staffs. Their job is for more than 3 months. Staff them. That's where trade unions come in. They protect the rights of those employees.
They said, why did I bring Dele? I brought Dele because Dele studied chemistry, applied chemistry, and analytical chemistry. 3 different degrees. So Dele, what are your thoughts?
All right. The last time I felt like this was when I was being taught spectrometry. That time, I was just looking at the lecturer because most of what he was teaching were strange to me. And this is the first time Mr. John will sound mostly intelligent to me, sincerely speaking. when I saw your invite, I don't have choice. Whenever you call, I must always come up. But on this subject, I'm not that vast in this subject, sir. But I just came up just to show my face, just because you sent an invite.
Yeah, I
Yes,
sent
sir.
an invite. To be
Yes,
honest,
sir.
I thought that you'd have something. You see, that's the problem with Nigeria. We have 291 people watching. Nobody, apart from John and Bongoli, it's not an embarrassment. Meanwhile, if I come now and say, like Ella came yesterday, say, they were knocking her, knocking this, one, Papa won't knock her, all this kind of new things. Everybody won't give Ella advice.
Let it feel. Let it feel. If Bongoli can be honest for once in his life, Bongoli will attest to the fact that every industry that has a trade union are where employees' benefits are higher. When the textile industry had a trade union, employees of the textile industry were enjoying in Kano. Sure, it's Kano or Kaduna. When the textile industry had a trade union, everywhere where there's a trade union is where employees benefits. That difference, man, you live in Nigeria. That difference. What do you think, from your own perspective, is the workable minimum wage in Nigeria?
I'll say like 200K.
Okay. Labor, NLC. What NLC proposed when they were negotiating was 450,000 naira. What NLC wanted was it to land at 400,000 naira. If you pay the average Nigerian 400,000 naira, nobody will be complaining. That is what Bongoli them don't want. That is what Bongoli them don't want. They don't want people to speak with one voice. They want to divide you and rule you. When you're under a trade union, you speak with one voice. When you're not under a trade union, they divide you and rule you. They call Mr. Emeka and give Mr. Emeka a huge package, and call Mr. Femi and give Mr. Femi a small package. Because Mr. Femi is not as loud as Mr. Emeka. But under a trade union, those who are vocal are made the executives. And those escorts can be very crazy. By the time they're negotiating with you, you go put them for hotel. They're not going to go work. So the earlier you negotiate properly, the better for you, for them to go and resume work. So a trade union is the only thing that protects the rights of employees in a country like Nigeria, where the Ministry of Labor is docile, extremely, completely docile. That the reason I worked in Congo. If you're working in Congo, sometimes you just see some people will just walk into the office. First and foremost, if they see Caucasians, they ask for their visa.
Work permits.
Their visa, their category of visa, to know if it's a work permit. What they want to do is to make sure that you have the quota, you maintain the quota of locals that should be there. In Angola, if you are a Nigerian coming to Angola to work under a work permit, you have only 1 year. The work permit states that you must pick an Angola, that your company must employ an Angola that you will train for that period of 1 year. So that after that 1 year, you will not come back for another work permit. So that an Angolan will take over the position. We have a Ministry of Labor that does not protect that. If you go to federal secretariats or state secretariats, the Ministry of Labor is empty. They sell granules. And you expect employees not unionized? No. They have to form a trade union to protect their own rights. They have to form a trade union to protect their own rights.
Okay.
So, to Mr. Dangote, I don't know who is advising you. Please, the best thing you have to do is reinstate those 800 people, allow them to form a trade union, go into a collective bargaining agreement with them. Go into a collective bargaining agreement with them. And continue your business and let the country move on. And let the country move on.
Daily, what are your thoughts?
That is freeze. You shall expose me.
Bongoli is saying to follow the law. Bongoli, please, can you go and pick up the Nigerian Labour Act, read it in total, and tell me what the Labour Act says on firing of employees who are under the union? See, Dangote, once an employee indicates interest to join a trade union, he has joined. He is a member of a trade union. It's a fundamental human right, the right of association. It is a fundamental human right. In fact, if they don't get justice in a Nigerian court, they can go to The Hague, because that's the Hague tries cases of infringement of fundamental human rights. They have the rights. They have that right. It's their right. So they have joined the trade union. You want to fire them? Fire them under their collective bargaining agreement. If you want to fire those 800 people, let me tell you the best way to do it. You want to fire those 800 people? No problem. They are still your staff as of today. Tell them to come so that you guys will go into a CBA. When you go into a CBA, you fire them based on that CBA. Whatever they tell you, you pay them. That's what you pay them based on that CBA. But for you to wake up and just fire them arbitrarily, you don't have the right. Employees don't have the right to hire or fire. Go and watch TVC interview. The guy that was interviewed in TBC, Bosun was my colleague. Let me give Bosun Pengassan form. Bosun was my colleague. Employees don't have the right to hire or fire. Employees have the right to hire, but you fire only under the provisions of the Labour Act. Bongoli, nobody's crippling the economy. Nobody's crippling the economy. We are helping the economy grow. Because when you fire one person, you have rendered his whole chain of dependency jobless. We know how Nigeria works. One person has like 10, 15 people under him. His father, his mother, his mother-in-law, his father-in-law, his children, his wife, under him. You fire him, you render those 15 people jobless. So we are protecting those 15 people to make sure that even if the man is going home, he goes home with something good. I learned the hard way. If I was under Pengassan in 2014, when I was made redundancy, I wouldn't have been working again. My payoff would have been close to 100 million naira in 2014. My payoff would have been close to 100 million naira.
Mr. John, can I quickly ask some questions? Thank you very much for schooling us for a while now, and you've been doing that passionately. But I just want to hold you on. I'm not vast on this topic, that's why I have to get quiet since. But I just have some few concerns.
And if someone says you should bring him in, the one is saying my 1976 that he's a unionized worker. I don't know.
Okay, 5 more minutes. After this, we have to end. You can see that I'm barely awake.
As regards,
DF, can you bring me in 15 minutes, please?
About 15 minutes, I'll have gone to bed. Oh yeah, Daily, ask your questions.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay, bro. I wish you could.
What I just want to say real quick. Is what Mr. John is saying is 100% correct. I'm a unionized worker. I'm a social worker, but the job I do, I'm under a union. There is never a time the union is there to protect the citizen of the country. What Bongoli was saying that, union is there to make sure that they take a lot of money so that the buck will be passed to the citizens. Oh God, that's just a joke. What I'm just saying in essence is the union is there to protect the workers. And what Pengassan is doing, in fact, they are 100% correct in what they are doing. It's just that the government and Nigeria, the system is so messed up that people just do things the way they want. My place I work, like what John said, the responsibility of my employer is just to hire me. He dare not even think about firing me. Before he will give me a query, he will have to meet with the union before he will even call me for a meeting. Anyway, this is all I have to say because I'm still at work. Thank you.
For a business that is privately owned.
Yes. Yes.
I work in a privately owned
business that is privately owned.
What are you talking about?
So let me help you, Dele. A business that is privately owned is not just privately.
DM, can you get me out, please? Thank you.
All right, press X.
Unless you can wait for another 5 minutes.
No, I have to go now. They have even started spamming my. So, John, your final conversation. They spammed my account.
Okay, so Dele,
I don't have 900 people watching this live.
For a business that is privately owned, a business that is privately owned is owned by the people because you're operating within the territorial entity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is not that. It is not that private.
Yeah. You see what I have on?
Yeah.
This is my union tag. If you see it's not my company. It's my union tag. What I'm saying is this. My company has nothing. They don't have control. But before they do anything, even just a meeting, to invite me for a meeting, the union has to be there before they can say a word with me. You understand what I'm saying? This is how it works in developed country, any sensible country.
Are you saying that?
And a company owner will just go. I work in the private sector. The company owner will just wake up and fire staffs. Jesus, I can't believe this happening. So please, that's all I have to say. Since you can't stay any longer, thank you so much, John. You're doing a great work on this matter. I love you to death, my brother. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Special shout out to John. They've started spamming my live. I have no choice but to run. John, thank you very much. Everybody enjoyed this. I don't know. Jay Soma, thanks for popping my money gun. John, we go yarn.
All right, boss.